Hey, Apophis here with a pretty interesting Elden Ring video for you guys. So what we're doing today is we're going to go ahead and test out Wazeus's Bloody Slash tech. But we're going to do it in practical application in invasions and maybe a few arena duels. So this first build is a level, at this time, 75, 36 arcane build. And we're starting with the heavy thrusting sword. So the heavy thrusting sword can get the combo off of the running R2 and jump R2. You could also use standing R2 two-handed, running two-handed R2, and jumping two-handed R2. So basically R2 bump. So what I mean by Okazemi is that when you actually tag them with one of these attacks, and I just got interrupted there. When you tag them with one of these attacks and they try and roll, let's say, sideways or backward, the Bloody Slash will catch them. And considering it comes from a practical attack in most of these situations, it actually makes Bloody Slash very usable. Because normally the attack is very slow and reactable, but when you put them in that situation when they're hit stunned, you suddenly have enough time to execute the attack. And another thing that surprised me about Bloody Slash is that it actually has a little bit of armor. I'm not sure when they added that, but it is a pretty nice feature considering how slow it is. And I was using Rivers of Blood as a backup, but I don't know, I wasn't having too much success actually hitting people with it or getting the full damage out. It's definitely gone through a couple of nerfs, and that's probably for the best, to be honest. It's got a ton of HP, but you're going to see how easy it is. So running R2, well, we miss our catch, but that's fine. Maybe that wasn't a good demo. But it does do a lot of damage, even with like 36 arc. I take it up to 40 when I switch weapons. But I think one problem I have HTS, and this is definitely just user error, is that it seems to actually miss at close range a lot. If you try to do like the running R2 or some of the other attacks, even like two-handed R1 seems to miss in like close quarters. If the opponent's like running at you, the hitbox is extremely narrow. The regular thrusting sword hitbox is a lot more generous. I have a little latency here, but yeah, as you can see, I'm just not able to connect. With the Rollcatch, a Flaming Strike, and yeah, I'm pretty much screwed here. So I decided to level up a little bit, hit 40 arc, and just upgrade my weapons from plus 16 to plus 17. And use the Somber Stone 7 on Rivers of Blood. And this time we're using the Nakakiba, which has a much more balanced moveset. You've got some slashing attacks, you've got the range pokes, so yeah, the running R2, standing R2, and jumping R2 and two-handed stance all will get the roll catch situation. We have a teammate here. I guess these guys were using Taunter's Tongue. It's the same duo from literally the last game. I think at the very tip of Nagakiba, you're not going to be guaranteed to get the Bloody Slash set up, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Yep. Pop his Wondrous Blast. I don't know why I did two R2s there. I was thinking maybe they would have stuck around and like tried to do the turn and burn after being hit. I shouldn't have committed. I didn't hit him with the first part. Thought they were dead, but nope. You know, surprisingly, I got the bleed proc quite late into that fight. I'm not sure how much the exaltation of blood talisman's really helping me, but I couldn't think of anything better to put in that slot. So this was a fun one. The Rollcatch was pretty consistently working before, but in this fight, I was having a little trouble landing it. I think maybe a bit due to latency and maybe a bit due to the opponent's poise level. I don't know, I feel like the two-handed katana whatever shouldn't even be poised unless you're using hyper armor themselves. But we're gonna see what happens. So that one's stunned, but I didn't get the roll catch. Yeah, so it has armor, but not like an amazing amount of armor. I think we could just say it's like a level 1 hyper armor, not like a level 3. It's not guaranteed to armor. If you receive enough attacks during it, you're gonna get stunned. I think I have 61 poise in the 3-piece Crucible. But overall, using it on Nakakiba, real strong. So, curved sword. So I use Shamshir, so I have both options of both the two-handed running R2, the jumping R2, and then also from the second hit of your R1 mash, you can also land the Bloody Slash. I wanted to see if they're going to run back in. He's got Rivers of Blood. I'm just kind of being cautious, not trying to get caught by it. Yeah, went ahead and punished the Eleonora stun. And he's just mashing away there. I'm kind of amazed how many people are willing to mash out a hit stun, like even now. Maybe I'm playing like too respectful. And running on one. But yeah, that was pretty good. Oh boy, invading a file enjoyer. You know, I was kind of like enjoying Mushoku Tensei in the first season, but the more I thought about it, the worse it seemed. He's like a 40-year-old man in a 10-year-old's body. Or sorry, maybe a teenager by the time it actually happens, but he should not be romancing children in the anime. I don't care what his body's age is. It's a shame. It's a very well animated show. Looks great. Great combat, sound effects, whatever, but especially hard to like the second season. Nice little turn burn by him, but not enough. Curved sword, also very good. And that's like, you know, a patch 1.10 thing. Definitely making all small weapons able to stun two-handed was pretty good. Reminded me of Dark Souls 3. Because curved swords were pretty bad before the patch, or more like niche in cases where your opponent just didn't have a lot of passive poise, which is fairly rare in the arena. But now we're at our intermission. You guys are about to see something real interesting. Let's see. He's gonna go on that little platform I hate, but then something real annoying is going to happen. Not just him using Radagast. You see, I don't know if this guy was a mad genius or what, but standing like that, if you see someone turn their back like that and you're on that little platform at the Hay Lake tree, don't do it. Don't do it. So I swapped to my level 135 arcane character. She has 73 arcane, and I'm using a Blood Twin Knight Twinblade. And so if you're not using Godskin Peeler, your only option to land the setup is running R2. And against a good opponent, it's pretty damn hard. I feel like the Twinblade has every type of move. They're just never the best in class, and the poise damage is pretty pathetic. It's a cool looking moveset though, of course. Oh yeah, I think two-handed lances or great spears actually were a good beneficiary of the patch changes, because I think the hyper armor and the two-handed R1s, and maybe even crouching R1, got better. See, I thought I was going to get a little punish there because I spaced out his attack, but nope. And so another thing I've been noticing in patch 1.10 is sometimes when you like connect with somebody and the game has trouble determining that collision, it does like a quarter of its damage. It happened in the last video when someone got hit midair by like a moonlight strike and did like 80 damage when it was normally doing about 400, 420. Could also be that the Twinblade has multiple hits per attack and I got interrupted early. When fighting UGS, you just have to be very patient, so I clipped him with the running R2, got my opportunity. He's already down to half health. He's keeping his distance, not get bled, hopefully. Yeah, that was pretty smart of him. I should have reacted and rolled behind him, but we definitely rolled behind him, get the backstab now. That was a good fight, though. For me. But, yeah, I guess let's move on to the one that I had the most trouble using, which was Greatswords. So, same opponent with the Rudius cosplay. And this is back on my level 80 build. And I have 81 poise. So, one, I found it's very difficult to approach someone with a greatsword. Like, yeah, if you get up close and they're willing to brawl, it's pretty good. But if your opponent's just trying to play evasive and keep their distance, you're gonna have a very difficult time landing anything. So the Rollcatch opportunities, if you have a Knight's Greatsword or Banished, is the standing R1 or running R2 into Bloody Slash, or the running R2. That will also set up the Okazemi situation. Accidentally clipped the other Phantom. We got a Kratos cosplay. But yeah, I don't really like these weapons and invasions either because, you know, look how fast this game is. These guys are literally running circles around me. Well, I'm just hoping that he's going to trade into my attack. And yes, I'm aware that KGS has a combo from the jumping R1, but the jumping R1 has to be very late. So that was the running R2 into Bloody Slash. Not bad. But yeah, I think I'm just going to save KGS for the arena. It doesn't feel very good to use during invasions. Nothing to say there, standard 3v1 McGangbang. And now I finally get to do some cool stuff with the Knight's Greatsword. So this guy's using a single Nagi, which is pretty unusual. People usually just power stance it. And he's got Phantom Slash. I couldn't help but think, man, what if he'd used a halberd? Yeah, did the free aim turn left slash and caught him there. And got a bleed proc for it. Yeah, and then the stand R1 to the Rollcatch. So, that was pretty fun. But I think Invasion's a little too chaotic for this weapon. But I'm not very good with them, I'll just admit that right now. Anyway, you got to see some practical applications of the Bloody Slash Okazeme setup. I did not test it on curved Greatsword. I hear that the strength scaling ones, like the Beastman one, could actually land it off of every regular two-handed R1. But overall, it's some really good tech. Bloody Slash does excellent damage. The little bit of armor on it is surprising. And you could land it from a variety of different weapons and useful attacks. So overall, very good Ash of War. And great on an arcane build. Anyway, if you like the content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.